friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is Aso Tarot, and in today's Pick a Cloud reading, we are going to be looking at the person on your mind's current thoughts and feelings about you. So I have a big juicy feast for you today. Let's go over what's on the menu. We're gonna start by looking at your energy and your person's energy and the energy of the connection. This will help you know whether the reading is for you or not. And then we are going to go into their thoughts and feelings about you. Then we're gonna get some channeled messages and we're gonna finish off with advice. But if you're still not full and you would like to come back for seconds, there will be an extended where we are going to be looking at where the connection is headed in the near future. We're going to be getting action from your person, seeing what actions they may be taking in the near future, and also getting advice for you on what action the universe thinks you should take. Then we are going to see what is helping the connection and also what is holding the connection back, and finish off with a little bit of guidance from the universe and see what signs they might be sending you about the connection. Then we're gonna finish off with even more channeled messages and even more advice because I cannot get enough of them. I just think they're fun and there's nothing wrong with more guidance. So we have 4 piles for you guys to choose from today, or 4 clouds, I guess I could say. Starting with pile 1, we are going to be using the Crystal Power Tarot, and we have this lemon calcite cloud. And then for pile 2, we are going to be using the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, as well as this amethyst cloud. And then for pile 3, we are going to be using the Crow Tarot, and we also have this Obsidian cloud. Could be Silver Sheen Obsidian, I can't remember the exact name. And then finally for pile 4, we are going to be using the Pastel Journey Tarot, and we also have this pink Aragonite cloud. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. There are no rules here. You could be asking about multiple people, or you could find that your situation resonates in multiple piles. Do what you want. I'm not your boss. And then if the reading resonates and you like it, feel free to check out the extended that's linked below, but the timestamps will be linked below as well. As always, they will be in the description box and in the comment section. So go ahead and pick your pile or piles, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the Lemon Calcite Cloud and the Crystal Power Tarot, this is going to be your reading. Thank you so much for being here. So we are going to go ahead and start by looking at the energy of the connection as well as the energy of you and your person. So let's go ahead and start with the connecting energies here. So to start, we have connection. Your connecting energy is connection. How's that word count? The frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. Just put that there. We also have glass box, all eyes on you, scrutiny, entrapment, attention. And we have detachment. And then we're gonna do this in a person A, person B style format. So whichever side you resonate with is fine. Ideally, the other side should resonate with your person. If you find that you resonate with both sides, that is usually indicative of mirroring. So it's okay if you see yourself as person AB or person BA. So starting with person A, we have the mouse. We have the spider, and we have coriander. The trigger statement is, this is the way it has always been done, and the true statement is, I create my way. You're ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. And then finally, for person B, we have the wrong card that I was supposed to put out, but we have sovereignty. What will they think as the trigger statement? The true statement is, I navigate through life with ease. Now you must claim your energetic independence, cut the cords to lower vibrations. It is time to ascend. We also have the otter. And finally, we have the bat, which I think I'm going to put this. Interesting energies for sure. Actually, what's kind of funny is I think I had these originally flip-flopped, but this actually makes more sense for the energy. Spirit always comes through in those ways. I can definitely see this as like a tricky situation. Actually, for some of you, it may not be tricky. For some of you, you could be with this person. I would say it is highly unlikely that if you're with this person, that things are just very clear and flowing easily at this time. I would say it's likely you're either not with this person and there's some miscommunication, or you are with this person and you and them are not necessarily on the same page right now. I actually want to start with the otter person. They are being represented by water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but they do not have to have those placements. I can definitely see that this person is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. It kind of seems like there's something going on in this connection that is a blockage of some kind. It could be a third party, but like I don't necessarily mean third party as in third person. That could be for some of you, but I think it's more so an external obstacle, I guess you could say. And for some of you, it could just be the mouse person's perspectives. That's the true obstacle here. But from what I can see right away, this is definitely a connection between two people, even though you're represented by animals, where you both really get each other. It's one of those things that feels more rare, and you're just, you kind of cherish those sorts of connections, because it's like, I think I've said this before, but it's almost like being an orange in a world of apples and then finding your orange and, orange. And just feeling that resonance and then finding it hard to go without that. So I do feel like you might not be talking to this person, or conversation may be surface level or sparse, or if you're with this person, conversations may just be like kind of just surface level and maybe kind of avoiding an elephant in the room. For some of you, like a certain event could have happened that was maybe like, for some of you, awkward, or it made you both realize you weren't on the same page in some sort of way. And you don't have to be together for that to apply. But what I do kind of feel like in terms of the connection, I feel like both parties are kind of ignoring some sort of, well, to put it like some sort of elephant, something that needs to be acknowledged that neither of you are. And maybe it has been, and you both are just have reached different conclusions, and that's not necessarily changing. And so for some of you, the energy is stagnant. Because I feel like for the mouse person, there's so much desire here and so much constraint. The mouse is a card that talks all about fear and feeling held back and thinking in small-minded ways. And I definitely get the vibe that this person is someone who has a hard time going outside of their comfort zone, and also has a hard time of going outside of tradition and what they've always done. They could have a lot of fixed placements. We do have Earth energy here with Taurus. Taurus would be the fixed placement in Earth, but we also have Capricorn and Virgo with that. I definitely think that this person is seeing the connection and the otter person as something that's outside of their normal. And for some, this could be an obstacle because maybe this mouse person has a certain family expectations, or certain expectations for themselves, or maybe this connection is just outside of what they're used to, and they may only find safety in situations that they feel they can control, and this is not one of those situations. I definitely can see here that like the mouse person 100% has a lot of desire for this connection and for the otter person. And in fact, they have to spend a lot of energy and effort kind of holding themselves back from things and holding themselves back from doing the things that they want to do. It could be because they have external responsibilities, but I think for a lot of you, the obstacles are more mental than anything. I feel like these are mental obstacles that this mouse person is justifying as physical obstacles, but they're not. They're just seeing them that way as a way to validate them. Also, sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I'm getting over it. I'm fine, but if my voice sounds weird, that's why. But with the sacral chakra coming through, especially in this card, I definitely can see that the mouse person, one, is very attracted to the otter person. I guess if this is not a romantic connection, then you could just say that they really enjoy being around the otter person. But for most of you, get the vibe that this is romantic because there's a lot of physical desire there. But I feel like the mouse person views this connection as a selfish endeavor in some way. And at the same time, I think that they may be very afraid of opening themselves up. This could be someone that's gone through something really difficult in their past when it comes to relationships, so they're not really one to make themselves vulnerable. I can definitely see that what they're really battling right now is tradition and what they think they should do versus what they truly want to do and what feels right to them. Now, if we move over to the otter, which is funny, I was like, I'm going to start with the otter, and then I totally went into the mouse. Back to the otter. I can see that this otter person is really just trying their best to be, I wouldn't say blasé, but accepting of the situation at hand. They might be trying to come across as a little blasé, like they don't really care that much about what's happening, but you can definitely tell they do. I feel like the otter is trying to make the most of this situation, and I think that they're just kind of trying to give the mouse person their space, but I think that the mouse is kind of always in the back of their mind. And with the glass box being here, I feel like the otter person may be posting a lot if they have social media or things like that, like kind of just putting it across that they're having a great time and that everything's all good and like there's nothing on their mind. But deep down, this person is actually kind of waiting on this mouse person, like wanting to hear from them. I feel like they almost kind of post things and hope it, like if whichever one of you is the otter person, whichever is the mouse person, if you both have social media, like one of you or both of you might be like posting things to try to get the other's attention and see if they'll interact with it and things like that. But I can definitely see this otter is battling like a little bit of insecurity when it comes to this connection, and I think it's because they're taking the mouse's either indecision or rejection energy too personally, because it's very much not personal. If you are the otter person, I do want to say like the lack of action from this person or the avoidance that is happening here is not because this person isn't interested in you. I think this person is very interested in you, but you might be very different from what they're used to or different from their expectations, and I think that's not something to take personally, but just something to understand is like when you form a certain idea around having a certain concept in your life or seeing only a certain thing as acceptable, it takes some time for certain people, especially fixed people, to wrap their brain around the idea of something different. But I think this has less to do with you and more of just like this being outside of this person's comfort zone, this person not wanting to be vulnerable, and for some of you, some external factor that seems to be a very big wall for the mouse person. So I feel like you both have cooled things down a little bit or just aren't really interacting much. Maybe for some of you, you've decided to just be friends, or if you're in a relationship, it kind of seems like you both are like kind of walking on eggshells around one another. But I see this deep desire within both people where you both really want to acknowledge things, talk about things, and connect. But I see for the mouse person that is a lot more difficult at this time. It's not something that I think they're necessarily ready for. I feel like the otter person is in a much more reflective and deeper spiritual spot. Deeper, like, I guess I wouldn't say more spiritual, but just more internal, more reflective energy. Whereas the mouse person is really trying to focus on like the here and now and what's directly in front of them. So it's important to note that when you are communicating with this person, if you do communicate with this person, you are coming from very different perspectives. So if you're the otter person, for example, I feel like you're going to maybe want to hit on like the deeper emotional experiences of this connection, or talk about like the deeper spiritual things of this connection, whereas the mouse person just isn't at that level right now, in the sense of like they just really desire you, they desire the connection. They're kind of so caught up in their own fears and anxieties that it's hard for them to even really be aware of any external synchronicity or things like that. And it's not because it doesn't exist or they don't feel it. It's just they're not aware of it. It's like the universe trying to get this mouse's attention with a dog whistle, you know? Only the dog's gonna hear the whistle, and like you might be able to hear the dog whistle, but they might not, you know what I mean? If you're the otter person. But overall, I see this as kind of like a begrudging acceptance of what is, and kind of just hoping for another opportunity to connect with one another, or if you're with this person, the opportunity to reconnect in a way that feels like peak you guys. Like it just feels, things feel easy, breezy, beautiful. They feel very cover girl, and it just seems like things are flowing easily and you both are kind of on the same page. Now, what I do see as well is that you both are kind of in a more passive energy, with the otter being represented by water and the mouse person being represented by earth. Those are both feminine energies. And so I do think both of you are kind of processing the energies of this connection in your own way, and kind of just not wanting to make the wrong move, so not really making a move at all and just kind of seeing how the energy shifts. I do think there's more pressure on the mouse's part. I think the otter has either spoken their piece or has kind of just accepted that the mouse is going to need their own time to kind of talk about what they're experiencing and bring up things. But this mouse person kind of needs to work through their fear of letting go of control before they'll really be able to open up to the otter person. I feel like this mouse person is really afraid to be honest about their feelings. I think that they may have kind of a complex around feelings, and feel like that if they have negative feelings or they have positive feelings, or if they have feelings at all, that's a measurement of their worth, which is silly, but some people see things that way. Whereas I feel like for the otter person, it's just like they're just trying to have fun in their own space, but they're always kind of like peeking over their shoulder, hoping the mouse might be right behind them to, you know, say, hey, what's up? And kind of engage in this connection again. I really like actually that the otter person, you know, kind of has the same colors as the connection card. It's like the energy of the connection is kind of always around them. Whereas for the mouse person, it's like the thoughts of the connection and the experiences of the connection and the triggers that the connection creates for them are more sporadic. And so I feel like the mouse person really may try to just focus on what's directly next to them, and that they can work on to kind of shrug off the energy that this connection brings about, because it is uncomfortable for them. So if that resonates, sorry, I'm choking on my own spit. Let me get some water. If that resonates as being your connection, let's go ahead and look at the thoughts and feelings of this person. I hope my voice isn't too bad, because like I miss channeling. I'm not gonna just be sick in bed the whole time if I feel fine. Like, yes, my voice doesn't sound amazing, but you know what? When can you say none of us can be at 100% all the time? I just want to have fun, read my silly little cards, and hang out with you guys. So I hope that's fine. So we are using the Crystal Power Tarot for you guys. I actually really like this deck. If you are a tarot noob and you want a deck that's kind of easy to use without the guidebook, I would recommend this one. I think one more good shuffle and then we'll be good. So we're gonna start top row with your person's thoughts about you, and bottom row, your person's feelings. So Spirit, what are pile one's person's thoughts about pile one, please? Okay. So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. We have the Hanged Man in reverse. This already makes a lot of sense. What are their thoughts? Spirit. We have the Devil upright and the Ace of Wands in reverse. And back of the deck energy is a 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay, let me just fix these bad boys. Okay, and then let's look at feelings. I'm actually just gonna, if you guys want to skip this part or like fast forward it, I completely understand. But I just don't want that to bother me while I'm channeling. Okay, so what are they currently feeling for pile 1? Okay, we have the 4 of Wands. We have the 6 of Wands. We have Judgment. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Swords. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So let's start with our thoughts. This 10 of Wands being on the back of the deck also underneath that makes a lot of sense, but okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and start now. Yeah, this person has really strong feelings for you. So once again, I say do not take their behavior as personal, because it is 100% not. In fact, this person is in a mental prison of their own making. I'm not gonna lie. Because they want to do so much more than they're currently doing. And the main reason why they're not doing a whole lot is because they're kind of battling with their feelings and battling with what they know, with what could be. So starting with the 10 of Cups in reverse, it's like they know that this connection is something that would make them really happy, that would be really emotionally fulfilling. And I think that this person is very afraid of reading the situation wrong. Like, well, I guess not reading the situation wrong in terms of you, but reading, like, the fear of this connection seeming like it would be this way and then turning out not to be that way. This person's really afraid of that. They're essentially really afraid of doing anything without knowing exactly what's going to happen, which is a very difficult way of being in this world, because there's a lot of things we can't predict or know how they're going to turn out. And so with the Hanged Man being in reverse here, this person is refusing to surrender that fear of letting go. Your person is definitely in this situation where it's like they really do want to surrender to this connection, but there's a part on this, like, do I deserve it? And then at the same time, it's like this person is completely aware that they're the only ones holding themselves back with this Devil card being here, but they can't help but do it anyway. It's like they're watching themselves do the exact thing that they don't want to do. And I almost feel like this is a pattern for them where they really have a hard time allowing good things to happen in their life, or like allowing good people to enter their life, because they kind of may have this like, oh, I like the opposite of the Midas touch, like everything they touch like turns to shit or something, which I think is a mental distortion of theirs that they need to work on. But with the Devil card being here, I definitely think that this person, like, their thoughts of you, like, they have a lot of like fantasies about you and about the ideal version of them that would be able to like sweep you off your feet, which I think is kind of silly, because you probably think that the regular version of them is that, but they don't see themselves that way, and they think that like they would be better off if they just had, if they were a different person from themselves. Like, their brain's playing them right now. And that's something that I think the universe is helping them work through. But with the Ace of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Wands in reverse, I feel like this person is very afraid of getting into an argument with you. I don't know if you guys have been in arguments recently, or this person has just a fear of conflict, but it's almost like this person keeps thinking about, you know, reaching out to you or bringing a certain conversation up that needs to happen that's like stopping you both from being more connected. They just keep pushing it off because they want to keep the peace, and they're also afraid of making the situation worse. I feel like this person doesn't really trust themselves to take action ever, and so I think they're stuck in this difficult position where it's like they want to break free of themselves, but they don't necessarily know how. And I think really their brain is just holding them back from taking action in all sorts of ways. And it's like they know that they're the ones holding themselves back, which just makes them hate themselves more. And then they just get stuck in this cycle of like I can't do anything right. Like, nothing's ever going to change for me because I can't make changes. Like, they really do have some negative self-talk going on. I'm not going to lie. It's not productive for their own growth or for this connection. But I do see the passion there, and at least there is mental conscious awareness of, like, yes, this connection and this person makes me very happy, but I don't know how I can change myself to do that. It's very like anti-DW, you know that meme where she's like, from Arthur, where she's like, this can't stop, like, this sign can't stop me because I can't read. Like, your person is kind of the opposite, where they'd be like, I can't read, so I don't even know what the sign says, so I'm never going to be able to do what the sign's telling me to do. So yeah, the universe is definitely working on them, helping them work through some issues around self-confidence and some issues around believing their worth. This person has issues with receiving. I think you do too, honestly. But I think this person does to a more severe degree. However, let's talk about their feelings, because their feelings reveal a lot. When this person is around you, they feel, and I feel the need to clarify, if this is long distance, around you can mean like on the phone with you, on FaceTime with you, like talking to you. Like, when they are interacting with you and they're around your essence, they just feel so much passion and so much like, this is my person. This is like, whenever I hear sirens, I think of Archangel Michael. So I don't know, maybe Archangel Michael has a message for you. But this person like sees you as someone and feels when they're around you like time just melts. Like, it's just you and them and like vibes. Which I know is a bad description, but like, come on, it's just vibes, you know? It's just vibes. Like, you get it. You get the vibes. You get the vibes because you feel them. I'm feeling them and I'm not even there. So like, you get it. It's vibes. I don't need to go that deep into it. But I feel like this person feels more confident when they're around you. I don't know if you're very complimentary of them or your energy just makes them feel more confident. But I do see that like, once they're actually around your presence, like they feel more confident. They feel like they see the magic in this connection. They feel the magic in this connection. They see the chemistry. They feel that. But then it's like, once they leave, then their head starts creeping in. It's like, it's almost like experiencing something and then gaslighting yourself into thinking that it didn't actually happen. Like, you know, we do that all the time. And so I think that this person talks themselves down after they have certain experiences with you. But when they are around you, they're incredibly attracted to you, and they feel so much joy when they're around you. Like things are just so much fun. But with the Judgment card being here, I feel like maybe you are the type of person to tell this person that they're too hard on themselves. Because I feel like after they're around you, they look at life more from your perspective and they see how hard they're being on themselves. If you are the outer person, which I feel like for a lot of you are, just because this energy resonates so hard with the mouse person. But I really feel like you might try to tell this person, like, hey, like, you might try to give them pep talks or remind them that, like, things don't have to be a certain way. And I think you kind of help them see through the fog of their own apathy or their own fears. Because with the 5 of Cups in reverse, it's like you literally turn their frown upside down. Like, they realize that maybe there's things that they're not expressing gratitude for, that they don't do a good job of staying present, or that they maybe should put more energy and effort into the person they want to be rather than sulking about the person that they are. It's just like things make so much sense around you, and like you feel good for this person in a way where it's like, oh, this person would push me outside of my comfort zone. This person pushes me to evolve. This person pushes me to grow. And their ego really doesn't like that, and their ego is really afraid of that. And so it triggers a lot of fear within them. Like, how am I supposed to how am I supposed to change and evolve? Like, this person has a very fixed idea of who they are and what they like, and I think that you challenging that is an uncomfortable experience. But with the Seven of Swords being on the back of the deck here, this person doesn't really want you to know how deep their feelings are for you, because I think partially they might fear that you don't feel the same way, or they might fear that they can't live up to your expectations if you even have any. They might be making up their own expectations in their mind of what they think might be going on between you guys or something like that, or what they think you might be feeling for them. But I do think that everything they perceive about you is filtered through that, oh, I hate myself lens. So, you know, it's not always super accurate, and it's definitely gonna lean towards this energy of self-deprecation. But it's almost like they take less action towards you because they overthink the action they do take towards you, because they take great care of what they value, and they value you, they value this connection, and they don't want to mess it up. And not only that, if there are other things in their life that they're having to nurture or protect, or that they hold expectation to, it's almost like they might have to siphon you off as like kind of a secret part of their own world, because they may fear backlash from people in their family or work or something like that. So I feel like for this person, you're like a fantasy that could become reality, but the reality, how do you want me to say this, Spirit? You're a fantasy that could become reality, but the consequences of making their fantasy a reality are things that they're afraid of, and those might not actually be real consequences. This person could just be very afraid of change, or very afraid of life not matching expectations, or them almost making your life worse. So we're gonna go ahead and get into channeled messages right now and see what they would say to you. But while I pull the channel messages, I did just want to remind you guys that there will be an extended where we're going to see where the connection is heading, the action your person will take, the action you should take, what is helping the connection, what's hurting the connection, and then we'll get more channel messages and final advice. So it is going to be very juicy, and if you are wanting seconds to this fabulous meal, I would highly recommend. Okay, Spirit, what would pile one's person say to pile one if they could be completely honest? I've been keeping an eye out for you. Which we have a lot of, honestly, if you say like random eyes, like in random places, like evil eyes, or just like eyes like that were on the card. Where was one? Like that. I would take that as a sign this person is thinking about you. We also have send me a text. We can grow faster together. I feel closer to you than ever. And I feel like we're in different dimensions. But on the back of the deck, we have I love you. So for some of you, I feel called to say, if you're in a relationship with this person, I think that this could be a very necessary period of growth that brings you guys closer together once you're through it, but is a bit stressful while you're dealing with it. But we're going to go ahead and finish off with advice. So we're doing advice in a very specific way. There's a specific archangel, and all the advice is going to come from him. So your archangel, well, I just went on a rant about this to Kino earlier. I'm like, I feel like archangels and stuff like that, like, why did they need pronouns? Like, I hate like I don't think there's any pronouns that could really exemplify. Like, I don't want to call an angel an it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so for you guys, we have Archangel Sandolphin, aka Sandy, and we have Song of Divine Purpose. So let's see what Archangel Sandy wants to tell you. We have, I am ready to go big, rise up and step into my power. We love that. We also have evolution. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. We have surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. And finally, we have death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And I love that, because I definitely think that there is a lot of change here, but it's got, there's wonderful purpose to come from it. And I actually, what I really like too is that we have the bottom chakras plus the heart chakra here with red, orange, yellow, green, and then we have the rainbow here. But I really do feel like you both are transforming on fundamental levels, and I think the universe is kind of just encouraging you to not like baby this person. Like they do need to be able to step up and you know, be honest with you and address things that they need to say. And I think Spirit is really asking you not to put stress on yourself and make yourself feel like you need to make everything happen. In fact, the more you just focus on you and your own evolution and what really matters to you, then I think that that is actually going to energetically like help encourage this person to do the same. It's almost kind of like a lead by example sort of thing, but not so overtly. Just like doing it for yourself can help shift the energy. But I really think your biggest advice here is to just trust the process and trust what's happening right now. But we'll go much deeper into advice in the extended. But I think the universe is really saying, one, pay attention to music. You might get messages in music that could be significant to you or the connection, or it could be from this person. But also follow like what makes your heart sing, follow your purpose, and focus on what you can take action towards, not what you can't, and follow the flow of this evolution, because it'll lead you exactly where you need to go. So pile 1, I am going to leave your reading here. If you want to check out the extended, that will be linked below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you are on your phone or something, or doing something else. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me in my channel. But if you'd like to support me in my channel in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, you can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to notify me whenever I upload a new reading. Seriously, even just liking the video is super helpful. You can also check out my merch, which is linked below, and my social media, though do be aware there are tons of scammers pretending to be me. So if you missed June predictions, I have that on my Instagram, but yeah, just make sure it's mine. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I really hope that this reading resonated. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose the Amethyst Cloud and the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, this is going to be your reading on your person's thoughts and feelings for you. So we're going to start with the energy check, and I want to start by looking at the connecting energy between the two of you. So we have transformation, already burping, sorry, I'm drinking Diet Coke. The energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. We also have headspace. You are overflowing with creativity, creative energy, new ideas, productivity. And we also have quality time. And then we will be doing a person A, person B format. So whichever side you resonate with is absolutely okay. If you don't resonate with either of them, this may not be your pile. But if you see in your person, you and your person in both of them, that's totally fine. And it's often indicative of things like mirroring. And that's okay if you feel like you're person A, B. But to start with person A, we have the starfish, we have the mermaid, and we have calming, with the theme being acceptance. The trigger statement is, I cannot trust anyone, and the true statement is, everyone deserves my love. I open my heart to heal and release. I open myself to the peace of divine love and grace. Put that there. And then finally, for person B, we have the deer. We have the bird. And we have 2 of these cards. The first one being themed around spirituality, and the trigger statement is, I am so disconnected. The true statement is, everything is connected. It will be beneficial for you to spend time in quiet contemplation. You need to reflect within to find the answers you seek. And finally, we have motivation. The trigger statement being, I don't know where to start, and the true statement being, I take action now. You will find clarity and the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. I really love this energy. I really love this energy. So I can definitely see that this has been quite an interesting connection. Even if you haven't known this person for very long, there's been a lot of internal change, and for some of you, external change that has really led you and this person to points of great transformation within your own individual lives, and I think in turn great transformation for this connection. Starting with the transformation card, obviously, we can see what that indicates, but I definitely think that that is not an energy that is presently occurring, but rather, at least in terms of the exchange of the connection, I think that's where the connection is heading, and I think it's being created by the transformations that are occurring within both of these individuals. With the Headspace card being here, I feel like both parties here are starting to get more motivation for life again. You might be spending more quality time with yourself or quality time with the people you care about. If you are around this person, obviously you could be spending quality time with this person and really talking to them more or desiring quality time. For a lot of you, I feel like this is more of a desire for quality time, especially if this person is at a distance from you or you may not be speaking regularly. But I do think it also translates to both of these individuals having quality time with themselves and with the people they care about and learning more about themselves. However, I feel like these two are on each other's mind all the time. So if you've been thinking about this person a lot, I think that they have been thinking about you as well, and you both might be picking up on that a little bit. I want to go ahead and start with the starfish person. We have water energy here, so you could resonate with Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces placements, especially Pisces placements with that mermaid here, but you don't have to. But what I can definitely see here is that this starfish person is showing up in the connection as one, very tempting to the deer, but also kind of playing it very safe right now. What I really see with the starfish person is that they may be kind of playing it a little dumb when it comes to maybe the past between the two of you, or playing a little dumb as to how deep their feelings go. Because with the mermaid card being here, it's kind of like, I kind of chose these two cards to kind of be like the hidden energy, like what each party isn't revealing. And so for the starfish person, what I really see is that these feelings run really deep. And not only that, this connection and this person is kind of like a siren call that they can't ignore. It's something that they're constantly drawn to, and I think that it's something that they feel incredibly deeply, and they may not want to admit that, and it's likely that they have not said anything about that, especially not to the dear person, but it's their truth. And I think this starfish person is coming to a place of acceptance around their feelings for the deer, because I think that that is something that they're not necessarily very comfortable with accepting. I also think that the starfish person, I also think that this, actually, I'm not going to apologize. This is my channel. I burp. I'm human. Get over it. Anyway. That was not Diet Coke, that was water. Anyway. With this card being here, I definitely feel like the starfish person has a lot of just fear around maybe being vulnerable or opening up about their feelings or opening up to the possibility of this connection being something more. I definitely feel like the starfish person has been betrayed, and they may have some commitment issues where they may just really like to kind of keep things surface level or keep things well, I guess the starfish person, it's not that they always want to keep things surface level. It's that they play it safe around the deer person. They may actually be someone who goes incredibly deep with other people, but this deer person seems to be the type of person that gets easily spooked, because we are kind of looking at these two, and they're coming at this from different directions. The starfish person, I think, has more, their emotions are more apparent than the deer person's, But I think the starfish is starting to accept that. But I definitely think still they're kind of very afraid of how this connection makes them feel, what this connection means, if this is something that if it's going to be something, they're questioning if it's going to be something that just breaks their heart or something that could be really amazing. I feel like the starfish person doesn't want to trust in anything good because they may be really used to things kind of going to shit. And so I think that they're learning how to heal their relationship with themselves and recognize that they can be safe and find love in so many different ways, and that it's okay to like explore in love and just see what the universe has to offer. But I definitely think in terms of how this starfish, that's kind of more what's going on internally. But in terms of this connection, I think the starfish is just kind of following the deer's lead a bit. And I think and I kind of understand why, because let's talk about the deer person. This could be the most masculine person in the entire world, but they would show up as this deer because they feel so stinking vulnerable in this connection. Like as vulnerable as Bambi's mom, like not to be dark, but and also this person is incredibly sweet. They are so nurturing and protective to the people around them. And I think they have those same tender feelings for the starfish. One thing that I'm really interested by is that we have all of this green around the deer. And I really think that this deer looks at the starfish and this connection through the eyes of compassion and adoration and love. But there's this card talks about when the deer energy is out of balance, it can be very cautious and protective. And I do think that is the energy that this deer is in. They want to take more action towards this connection, and with the bird card being here, it's like they want to communicate more, they want to be more involved, but it's something that they're not revealing. With their energy coming through as earth, they could have Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus placements, but they certainly don't have to. But what I really see this being is this person staying true to maybe a more practical nature of theirs, or using their kind of earthly environment to keep them grounded in the present and kind of help them not be swept up by the energy of this connection. Because I feel like this person wants to talk about a lot, but they're not necessarily in the place to talk about everything yet. Because when we have spirituality and we have motivation, I definitely think that this person is going through a lot in terms of their spiritual growth right now. And I definitely think it has a lot to do with their feelings for this connection. I feel like their energy speaks where words can't for them. Because I do think at times this person maybe struggles with communication. They're almost like a little bird that like wants to fly. They're like that fairy Barbie movie where she's like a fairy without wings, you know? That's kind of how this person feels. Aww. But they're trying to get there, and I see the universe kind of leading them to learn that they can speak up for themselves and they can speak their truth. And so I think that this is a necessary cycle that this deer person is going through right now. But they may come across as withdrawn or not very communicative, or like this person could kind of pop in and out at times. And I think it's because this person really is taking time to kind of understand their feelings, understand where they're headed in life and what life is bringing them. And I feel like they're learning how to empower themselves and take action in ways that maybe they wouldn't in the past. And so if you have been just maybe not talking to this person as much, or if you're the deer person and you're not really talking to the starfish person, I think they're very understanding of that, and they're kind of picking up that vibe. I feel like both parties here, once again, we have two like feminine energies coming through. So I feel like both parties here are being more passive when it comes to taking action in this connection. And there's a lot of more internal change kind of going on right now, but it's leading to a lot of change in the connection. I'm definitely excited to see how that is going to impact the connection. We'll look at that in the extended, but we're gonna go ahead now and look at this person's thoughts and feelings for you. So if that resonated, congrats, you found your pile. Oh, I don't know what these black marks are from. That's okay. So you guys chose the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. Every time I use this deck, I just always see the last image of the movie where they're like standing in front of that big full moon and they're just like, we're simply meant to be. So I don't know. I feel like whenever I use this deck, just the energies involved, they always have some sort of like, I don't know, like little faded quality to them. I don't want to say that for all of them, but I do feel like there's a particular juju in this deck that, I don't know, always spills the tea. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by looking at how your person is currently thinking of you. Spirit, how's pile one's person? We have the Knight of Swords. He's a looker. What else? Spirit, what else are they thinking about? We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the King of Cups upright. Okay, what else? We have the Queen of Cups upright. Oh my gosh. And bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's look at feelings now. How is this person? We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles upright. And bottom of the deck, we have the World in reverse and the Two of Cups. And the Sun in reverse. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. I was right. Tea was going to be spilled today. I'm just going to put that here because whew. Okay, let's start with thoughts. I love that this Knight of Swords, or excuse me, Knight of Needles, looks like this because this is so accurate to how your person sees communicating with you. They impulsively want to talk to you like all the time, but they do not, because sometimes they might actually say the wrong thing, or they might just say something weird, or they might just like overthink it. So this person goes to want to interact with you all the time, but then they just don't. It's like there's kind of like two devils on their shoulders. There's no positive one. Like one's just saying, just send it, like just do it. And the other one is saying like, no, like you're gonna say something stupid, don't say anything. They're both just creating more fear. Unfortunately, there's no positive voice that's helping them there. But they do think about communicating all the time. And I do think that they have actual like anxious thoughts about this connection, especially when it comes to who you might be involved with and what you're doing. I think that they don't want to have any competition, or they worry about competition, or they worry that there's people that are better than you. But this person is consciously aware of the connection you guys have. I mean, we have the King and the Queen of Cups. Like they're definitely very intuitively aware of the feelings that you both have for each other. And I love it. This is more, you know, the King and the Queen are much more mature energy. So this person definitely feels like a deep emotional resonance with you. And I think that they actually feel emotional safety that they don't feel around others. And I think maybe that could be because when they're around you, you may be more open with your emotions, or you may just be more open about your life and how you're feeling. And I think that that's having a positive impact on this person. Like, I kind of see your energy in the Queen and them in the King, where it's kind of like every time they're around you, it's like they almost have to bottle up some of your bath water, like your Belle Delphine. and and just take your essence with them, because like it just rejuvenates them. Like your energy is actually very, very healing to them, and it has evoked a lot of change within them. And I'm almost called to notice as well, there's only one eye open, and I think that this person has like had to kind of look at you and look at things differently than they would in the past, and realize that there is something really special between the two of you. I don't think that this is the type of person to typically pick up on something like that, and I think that that's why they're showing up in such a vulnerable energy, because I don't think that people typically get to their heart. I think they very much are very good at kind of having this Knight of Swords energy out and about. Like they may be like very the devil's advocate, or the type of person to kind of just like stir things up to see what people say, or things like that. I feel like this person doesn't take things too seriously, or doesn't take a lot of things in life too seriously, but you've really changed that for them. And like I think that now they're kind of having to reassess how they want to go about life and about this connection, because even though their feelings run really deep, their experience when it comes to relationships or things like that is much less evolved, I guess you could say. With the Page of Pentacles in reverse, I definitely feel like this person feels like they're way in over their head. Maybe they haven't been in a relationship in a long time, or the thought of commitment is really overwhelming to them. But with the Four of Pentacles in reverse as well, I definitely feel like they recognize that this connection is something worth holding on to, and so they don't want to hold themselves back. But at the moment, they're unsure of how they want to proceed. I think with the Five of Wands in reverse, it's like they're tired of fighting what they feel about this connection, especially because they know it's mutual. They know there's something real here. But in terms of their logical mind right now, they're kind of just really focused on like what am I going to need to shift? How am I going to need to grow? What am I going to need to really have? And I think that thoughts of you and feelings of you just kind of keep them going in a lot of ways. So let's talk about their feelings now. This person is actually, it's kind of funny. I kind of want to laugh. Not at them, but just like it's kind of sweet. With the Page of Swords being here in terms of their feelings and the Three of Pentacles, this person really doesn't have a healthy, mature understanding of love or feelings like this. So I think that it's almost like being a noob again. Like the feelings that they're experiencing, they're looking at them from a very analytical perspective, and their conscious brain recognizes them as deep, true feelings. But there's that part of them that's like, this is very new to them. So it's almost like they're studying that experience while it's happening. With the Five of Pentacles, I feel like this person really misses you, actually. And I definitely think that they might use work or whatever they're doing in their physical world as a way to kind of distract themselves from this connection. I feel like if this has been an ongoing thing for a long time, this person really wants to, I guess I'm kind of jumping the gun and spoiling things, but whatever. I guess Spirit wants it to come out. With the World in reverse and the Two of Pentacles, Two Cups being underneath it, I definitely see this as this person wanting to close out this cycle of like could've, would've, should've, or just not being aligned to potentially be something more together, to come together in a more harmonious and balanced way. And so this person is kind of feeling through the process of what they need to do to get there, but I feel like they really miss you and your energy a lot. With the High Priestess in reverse, I definitely feel like they see you as the more intuitive one. I feel like they feel you in their dreams a lot. I feel like they just feel your energy around them. And if you're a more intuitive person, I think they definitely wonder how you do what you do and just how you know certain things. I definitely can see that they're not necessarily trusting their feelings. I feel like they're very afraid of what they're feeling, and I definitely think they're very unsure of how you feel. Even though when they're around you, their conscious brain is like, oh yeah, like this is definitely a mutual thing. It's like afterwards, I think there's a bit of doubt there. Like, I don't know if this is actually real, or, you know, I could get rejected or something like that. And so I think that this person really just wants to get to a place where they're more stable. And so with the King of Pentacles being here, it's kind of interesting. It starts with the Page of Pentacles in reverse to the King of Pentacles upright. So I definitely can see that this person, you make this person want to be better, want to be more adult, I guess you could say, more advanced, more evolved. And so that's why they're really working to grow and become the best version of themselves, because they don't really feel good enough for you right now, if I'm being honest. And I think that's partially why they may hold themselves back from you. I think that they really want to be the best, present literally the best version of themselves, which, like, I mean, to be fair, Santa Jack Skellington is kind of the best way in which someone could approach me. So I understand that this person wants to they don't want to be little gnome guy. They want to be Santa Jack Skellington when they show up with an offer. So I think that makes sense. But I feel like they're not really seeing the Santa Jack Skellington that they already have within them. And I don't think they fully recognize yet that Santa Jack Skellington is not necessarily a look, but it's a vibe, and that they have access to that vibe. But I think that's kind of the process that they need to go through right now, and that's kind of what the conclusion that I think they're going to come to. But I think they need to do that in their own time, and it's kind of through this spiritual growth and this spiritual process. And I think that they're actually going to start looking at their material goods and the material world in a much more balanced way. They may have had too much of a focus on it in the past, but I think this spiritual growth is leading to a deeper awareness for them that material abundance is not necessarily like a metric of your inherent worth as a human being, despite what certain people in society may think. And I think that they're just kind of realizing that they need to see their own value and need to see that they're worthy of more. And I think that's kind of what they're in the process of doing. And I feel like when they look at this situation, they just see a situation where, like, things aren't over yet. Like, this isn't over, this isn't done, but I'm not ready necessarily to continue. So we're going to go ahead and move on to channeled messages, but I did go ahead and want to plug what's going to be in the extended because they've been pretty juicy so far. So we're going to see where the connection is heading. We're going to see what action your person is planning to take. We're going to see what action you're being guided to take. We will also see what is helping the connection, what is holding the connection back. We'll get some further guidance, and then we'll get even more channel messages, and then even more final advice. So if you're hungry for seconds, feel free to check that out in the extended in the description once the free video is over. Okay, so Spirit, what would pile 2's person say to pile 2 if they could be completely honest? You are magical to me. Yeah, definitely High Priestess vibes for sure. What else would they say? See, they're even being stingy here. Like, they're not really wanting to give up much. I've been keeping an eye out for you. And send me a text. Do whatever you want to do. We value the same things. I wish I could kiss you. La la. I apologize. Yeah, maybe for some of you, this person needs to make some amends. I am afraid I will hurt you. And on the back of the deck, I'm trying to be better for you, which, yeah, kind of basically exactly what I was saying. So we're going to go ahead and finish this free reading off with some final advice. So we have one archangel that all of these messages are going to be coming from. So for you guys, we have Archangel Ariel, and I quickly wanted to see what Archangel Ariel represents in this, just in case it's helpful for you. And it says, journey with me into the elements and harness their power, strength, and vitality. Stand solid and reach out to meet your full potential. You're a master creator with elemental magic. So We have commitment. You dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. We have surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. We also have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And finally, we have difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior. Well, I think that was a mic drop right there. But yeah, Archangel Ariel is spitting some facts. And I definitely think Spirit is definitely kind of saying, you know, pay attention to yourself and, you know, anything that you may be feeling, positive or negative, you may want to see how you may be projecting that onto another person, or not seeing things accurately, or see what you can learn and how you can grow from certain feelings and things like that you have. But pile 2, I think that is where I am going to leave this reading. I'm going to head over to the extended now, so if you want to check that out, that'll be linked below. But if you are leaving me here, which is absolutely okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do whatever. That is the simplest and easiest way to help my channel, but if you'd like to help me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, you can subscribe if you haven't already, and you can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my social media and my merch, which are linked below. Though do be aware, I have tons of scammers pretending to be me on social media. I do not offer personal readings. I will not slide into your DMs offering you personal reading. That is a scammer. So thank you guys so much for being here and for letting me read your cards. I hope you will have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Obsidian Cloud and the Crow Tarot, this is going to be your reading all on your thoughts, your person's thoughts and feelings about you. So we're going to go ahead and start by looking at the energy that exists between the two of you. So if you don't resonate with this part, this reading is likely not for you, but if you resonate with either side, it should be for you, or if you resonate with both. It's absolutely okay to resonate with both. If you see you and your person in both sides, that is absolutely fine and often indicative of mirroring. So to start, we have grace. The frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation to and anticipation of life's currents and changes as we evolve towards a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bringing the divine, bridging the divine with the human essence. That makes more sense. We also have optimism, and we have Rose Valley. Go forth with a soft and open heart. We have love, feminine energy, and vulnerability. So that is the energy being shared between the both of you. Now let's go ahead and look at both parties within the situation. So we are going to be doing a person A, person B format. So just pick whichever side feels most resonant with you. It's storming outside right now as well, so if things seem a little bit chaotic, they are. So to start with person A, we have the tarantula, we have the observer, and they actually got 2 cards. So we have enlightening, with the theme being arising. The trigger statement is there has to be more than this, and the true statement is I create my world. You are ready for a higher level of awareness and transformation. And finally, we have independence, and the trigger statement is I am just like my mother, father. The true statement is I am free to choose, and it says you are ready to break free of the conditioning that has bound you so that you may continue your journey of healing and growth. So we've got some crown and solar plexus energy. And then finally for person B, we have the hummingbird. We have the unicorn. And we have inspire. The trigger statement is, I am stuck, and the true statement is, I am filled with possibility. Allow yourself to float above any thoughts or emotions and see what is needed for you to process them and move forward. I really like this energy. There's a little bit of bittersweetness to this energy, but I do think that it's a very necessary energy for two people that are in a connection, even if it's not like a committed connection, in order to foster compassion and growth here. So really what I'm seeing here, I have to start off with the tarantula person because their energy is showing up in a more dominant way, and I don't think that that necessarily means that the tarantula person is the more dominant person within the connection. Could be, but I think it more so just relates to the kind of themes and experiences that the tarantula person is having right now. Also, sorry about my voice. I am getting over being sick, so hope that's not too distracting. But when it comes to the tarantula, they're coming to this deep awareness that there needs to be change, that they can't live their life the way that they have been living it. They might be repeating old cycles or old patterns, and it might be kind of a very powerless experience at times, because with this observer card being here, I almost feel like this person kind of watches themselves make the same mistakes over and over again and actively know that they need to change, but they're not necessarily sure how. And I think that they're being driven to this point where they're having to, I heard rock bottom, and then I can't understand your accent because SpongeBob references are just rife on this channel. Anyway, I definitely feel like this person is in this place of recognizing that nobody's going to fix their issues for them, and if their life is going to be how they want it to be, they have to do it on their own terms. And I think that that is a really difficult place for this, or a difficult idea for this person to integrate into their reality, because I do think that the tarantula person is maybe more used to helping others, providing for others, or doing what is expected of them, or doing what they think they should be doing. And I definitely can see there's a lot of inspiration for the tarantula because of the hummingbird person, which we'll get to them later. But I definitely think that the tarantula person is very grateful for the hummingbird person's kindness and compassion and understanding for them and their situation. Whether these two are in a relationship or not, I think no matter what challenges may be happening here, I do feel like there's good positive energy towards one another, at least in the sense of, I want you to live your life and be happy and figure things out, and vice versa. So for the tarantula person, I see them really breaking free of a lot of limiting beliefs, limiting patterns, limiting behaviors that don't really align with the truth of who they are. And I also see them starting to recognize that they are ready and capable to make the changes that they want to follow their life's calling. So with the tarantula being here, this person could have fire placements, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they certainly don't have to. I just definitely see them kind of being lit alive and really wanting to stop wishing for the life that they want and starting to go after it. One thing that I really like is that we have this little ring of yellow around the tarantula that turns into red. And in their chakra cards, we have the solar plexus and the crown. So I definitely think that this tarantula person is going through this experience where they're kind of looking at life on the outside and getting a lot of deep universal wisdom delivered to them about themselves and their own truths and what matters to them. And it's starting to activate so much within them that they have no choice but to make these changes in their physical world. It's like if they continued living the life that they are now, they would be living a lie. Or if they continue living the life that isn't satisfying them, they are just playing a role in the continuous cycle of their own suffering, essentially. So for the hummingbird person, I love the hummingbird person's energy, I must say. The hummingbird person is definitely maybe more focused on this connection right now, and I can see why. I feel like the hummingbird person, I get big Libra vibes from the hummingbird person. We do have a lot of air energy, Aries, air energy, as I start to say the fire signs, air energy being Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, not Aries. But this hummingbird person is really just trying their best to stay positive about this connection and this situation, and try not to let their own expectations take away from a reality that they should be grateful for. I see this hummingbird person always trying to look on the bright side of things, but at the same time not deflecting the things that they're not happy about. I feel like this hummingbird person is really trying to embrace and integrate their experience in a healthy way. But I can also see that there's this deep longing for the tarantula person, which, let me be clear, goes both ways. But I think that the tarantula person definitely distracts themselves more when it comes to their deeper desires with their earthly reality, whereas the hummingbird person, I feel like they have a hard time letting go of their fantasies and desires. I do think that they live in a world of their own delusion in a way, but here's the thing, this is not bad delusion. This is like good delusion in the sense that they work hard to keep their mindset more pure and not let the harsh realities of the world get them down. This hummingbird could have some sort of like neurodivergence, because I can definitely see them kind of getting themselves distracted with different ideas or different concepts, and maybe that's kind of what they do to distract from their deeper truths. But I can definitely see here that sometimes they might delude themselves into thinking that they're more powerless, or that they don't have the capabilities to overcome certain circumstances, or they may just get so caught up in their own head, they may not necessarily know what direction they should be going in. And the thing that I see here is that this hummingbird person recognizes this connection as something very special, something worth holding on to, and they see the tarantula person as someone that's as special as they are. Because I do think that this hummingbird person recognizes themselves as special, or at the very least unique. I mean, I think unique and special could be interchangeable, arguably, but I definitely don't see this hummingbird person wanting to settle for anything less than they know they deserve. And I think right now they're kind of just working on overcoming certain emotions and certain experiences that maybe hold them back from living their true potential, and learning how to kind of push through some of their fears and push through some of their pain so that they can kind of cultivate the life that they want. Now, here's what's really beautiful. I don't know how much interaction is happening between the hummingbird and the tarantula. If you're not in a committed relationship with each other, I would say it's quite likely that conversations are not necessarily super regular. They could be for some of you. Maybe you both are just taking time to work on yourselves and work through what's most important to you. But I think both people here have a positive outlook on this connection, and at the very least a positive outlook on life. Both parties are showing up in a masculine energy, and I think it's interesting that we have feminine energy being highlighted here, because I think this is what both parties are doing on their own to kind of work through their own issues, is leading to this opportunity. Not leading to an opportunity, it's leading these two to greater awareness that the past can be absolved, time can heal things, we can grow and we can evolve as people. And with grace, I think that these two parties are being a lot kinder to one another, or at the very least, if it's not overt kindness, there's more compassion and understanding for each other's situations. I think the hummingbird is kind of having to be more flexible when it comes to the tarantula person, because I do think that just what they're going through right now requires a lot of time and space and patience. But no matter what, both parties here, I think, are optimistic about the future. I think both parties hold a lot of fondness for one another. And I think that there's just this understanding of we're going to go with the flow here. I'm not going to force you to change or force you to do anything, and you're not going to force me to do anything, vice versa. We're going to look at the future with optimism and come at each other and come around each other in a very authentic, open, vulnerable way that's very kind. And I think in order to do that, both parties may need time alone or time apart to kind of work through their own things and then come back together. And I don't mean this in like a separation sort of thing, but just like, okay, you see this person, and then maybe it's 2 weeks before you see each other again, and you see what you've learned since you've grown. It could be a separation situation for some of you, but I think no matter what, you both kind of have a soft heart towards each other, and you both are kind of just being patient with one another as you grow and evolve. Like, there's no pressure, there's no rush. This is just like, okay, like, we're both taking action towards what we can control in our own lives, and we're just trying to be patient and kind with each other as we work through all of this. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot now, because I would like to see if this resonates. Then congrats, you found your reading. And we just want to see what this person is thinking and feeling about you now. So if you feel like some of this sounds like you, I won't be surprised, because I do think there is some mirroring energy here, even though it may be showing up in different ways. But crows could be a significant animal for this connection, as you guys chose the Crow Tarot. You certainly don't have to. And I did quickly just want to remind you guys, if you decide that you're hungry for seconds, we will be having an extended that is pretty deep and pretty juicy. We're going to be looking at where the connection is headed. We're going to look at what action your person is going to be taking towards you, what action you should take towards them. We're going to see what's helping the connection. We're going to see what's hurting the connection. And we're going to get more channel messages and more guidance. I just realized I don't know where my channel messages are. Oh, they're underneath the advice. Never mind. Silly me. Okay. Spirit, what are pile 3's person's thoughts about them currently? Okay, we have the King of Swords. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 3 of Wands in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the Lover's card in reverse. Okay. What about their feelings, Spirit? We have the 7 of Cups in reverse. We have the Fool upright. We have the Page of Wands upright. We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And then on the back of the deck, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Don't worry about reversals, okay? Reversals are just another way of understanding the cards. Reversals do not mean bad things. I've seen a little bit of that, people getting freaked out by reversals. There's no need. There's no need. Okay. So let's talk about this person's mindset, because their mindset is, I want to say it's a bit rocky, but I think that's understandable considering just where this person may be at in life. Starting with the King of Swords, I feel like your person's definitely looking at you and your situation from a primarily logical standpoint. And I think that's mainly because that is just how this person is. They have a pragmatic nature, and I think they likely rely on logic most times in order to make decisions that they feel will be best for them. So in this King of Swords person's case, I definitely see them acknowledging the connection, acknowledging that there is something deep and special that is shared between the two of you. But for whatever reason, and this is actually incredibly straightforward, this person feels like this connection would be unsuccessful if they took some sort of action right now. The Lovers card being in reverse, this person's not taking any action right now because there are things in their personal life that they clearly are not done working on, that they're very focused on. And for whatever reason in this person's mind, they cannot show up in a harmonious connection until they've either achieved some sort of success for themselves, which maybe you're a successful person, but also it's like the timing isn't right for them yet. They get the vibe that now's not the right time. They want to be around you, they want to be in your energy, but also at the same time, they are in rocky territory. Like, the word rocky just keeps coming up. And I think it makes a lot of sense when we go into their emotions. So I'm actually going to talk about their emotions more and kind of circle back with their thoughts. But when it comes to their emotions, they are very confused. And this doesn't just have to do with you. It's much grander. It's kind of everything in their life. Like, why do I want certain things, or why I don't know what I'm going to want. I know what's happening right now isn't necessarily going to be very satisfying. Or they may be the type of person where any emotion at all kind of clouds their better judgment. I definitely see them taking a very logical approach to your connection as a result of their feelings. They might have a lot of racing feelings. They might have a lot of feelings of uncertainty. I think they know that they know how they feel when they're around you. I think they worry maybe you don't feel the same, or they worry that they would sabotage this in some way. Because with the Fool and the Page of Wands here, this person has an awareness that they're not always the most accountable, they're not always the most reliable, and that they do make impulsive decisions. And I think that they are being very honest with themselves when they are thinking, I don't know if I can show up in a very mature way yet. I don't know if I can show up in a dependable way. I don't want to take action towards this situation and lose it because I'm too immature, or I'm not ready to show up in a way that is proper yet. This person, your connection is an opportunity for this person to start exploring their emotional body in a way that I don't think they have before, because I think that this person typically is just very closed off to emotional experiences in general. They could have had one serious connection in the past or something like that, or maybe even multiple ones, and they've kind of led to this person realizing that they really need to work on themselves and focus on them and do what is important to them, so that they don't resent a partner, that they don't make any impulsive decisions that could hurt someone else. It's almost like they're protecting you from themselves, which, take that how you will. I think it goes to show that this person is not in a place right now where they're really ready to show up in a committed and authentic way. And I think that if you're in a relationship with this person, I think that they're maybe second guessing what they are able to do. They might be really down on themselves. They might be really thinking that they're not worthy of being a partner, and they might need extra support right now. But I feel like for the vast majority of you, you're likely not in a relationship with this person, because this person doesn't seem like a person who would get into a relationship unless they were sure about it. And I think that's why they've kind of held this off. I think they're very sure about you, but they're not very sure about themselves. They're not very sure about how they can show up and how they can be a valuable partner. This person is definitely still working on their self-worth, especially with the Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Eight of Wands in reverse, it's like this person either doesn't take action at all or they take impulsive action that they end up regretting. And this person is really going through a lot of deep truths. I mean, we have Saturn up here with this King of Swords card being here. And I really think that that makes a lot of sense, because I think that they're having to deal with a lot of hard truths about their behavior, about the type of person that they are. And it's not only leading to ego deaths, but it's leading to a realization that the version of who they are does not align with the ideal version of themselves, the person that they want to be. And so they're not necessarily, a lot of this doesn't really have to do with you. And I hate to say that. I don't mean that in like a negative way, because there's good vibes towards the connection. There's good vibes towards you, but there's, if I'm being honest, bro, kind of bad vibes towards this person's self and bad vibes towards how this person is going to evolve and change. And so I think this person is making this realization of, okay, I need to change, I need to grow, I need to do better, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. And so this is going to be a kind of trial and error adventure sort of thing. You know, this person is capable of so much growth, but they really need to be able to prove that to themselves. I don't think that this person really wants someone that's going to help them, because this person is very prideful and wants to do things on their own, which that in and of itself, hyper independence, is a trauma response. So I do think that this person is kind of working through their own ish, and that ish is important, because if they don't work through this, I think this person is consciously aware that they would sabotage this connection, they would sabotage this relationship, and they don't want that to happen with you. And so I think because of this, they're not making a decision. They fully acknowledge with the Six of Cups and the Lovers that this is something really special, but they're not going to poke it with a stick because they're not ready to engage in a way that is very authentic and aligned and disciplined. So I think what they're really going through right now in their thoughts is, I don't feel good about myself. I feel like a loser. I feel like I need to grow. I need to change. I need to be better. I need to do better. And they're figuring out, okay, how am I going to do this? That's where this King of Swords energy is coming in. They're like, okay, master plan. How am I going to change? How am I going to grow? And so when they think about you, they think, I'm not going to make a move until I know I can be successful, because we have the Six of Wands in reverse and the Three of Wands in reverse. So this person is fully conscious and aware right now that they are not in a place that they need to be in order to show up in this connection in an authentic way. But I think this person is very optimistic about the future, because I think that you have inspired a lot of the growth within this person. And a lot of the reason, which I wouldn't necessarily say is a positive thing, but a lot of the reason why this person wants to grow is because of you. But what they're learning in the process of learning is that they have to want it for themselves, because if they're changing for someone else, that change isn't going to last. And so I think that they're kind of in this cycle right now of kind of learning and growing, and the universe might actually literally be stalling this person from talking to you, or vice versa, because the universe is really trying to get them to recognize, okay, no, this is not about doing it for others, this is about doing it for you. This self-improvement is not about just being acceptable for others. It's about accepting yourself and loving yourself and wanting to be a better version of yourself. And so I think that your person right now is going through this process and recognizing that they are not a match to you right now, because they're just not at your level. And if you resonate with a lot of this, then maybe you both are putting each other on a pedestal, or really projecting this idea that you both are too good for one another. But really the biggest vibe that I get is that this person is wanting to be better and wanting to do better. And I think if you're feeling optimistic about the connection, don't stop. If you're feeling optimistic about where this is heading, don't stop. Just don't place any expectations on timing, and give this person the room and the space that they need to grow, because they are growing, they are evolving, and they are gaining a lot more wisdom about what they need to do in order to be a more aligned version of themselves. So let's go ahead and get some channel messages from them now and see what they want to say to you, what messages they have for you. So Spirit, what does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I like even the dark parts of you. You are magical to me. I think one thing that this person may not understand is like your resilience or your ability to work through things on your own, or your ability to just grow so quickly. I feel like it takes this person more time. Like they just need more time to change. We also have send me a text. Okay, both these want to come out. We have we're at the right place at the right time, and I wish we'd reconnect. So yeah, if you're feeling like this desire, like this person may be desiring you a lot, but just holding back from reaching out. And I would say do whatever you feel is most aligned with your truth, but don't feel pressured. Like this person can and will work through their own issues in their own time. We also have I apologize, and we have I feel closer to you than ever. And on the back of the deck, we have I'm playing hard to get. So there could be some truth there. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and look at your advice. So I kind of decided that this would be from a specific archangel. All of the advice would come from them. So to start, we have Archangel Raphael with Celestial Healing, and I wanted to see what it says in the book because these kind of have interesting so this one says, feel my cloak of velvet green wrap you in healing rays of light. Feel the warmth of your soul radiate from the center and know you are whole and complete. Embrace the reality of your wholeness and the expansiveness at all. So I definitely think Spirit is starting off by saying, like, please do not base your healing journey or your worth or your value on how this person responds to you, because your own journey is just as important as theirs, and there will be times where you both may not be on the same page, or you both may need that time and space alone for heart healing. But not only that, recognize that you don't need anyone to be complete, that you are complete on your own. We also have action. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. So if there is action that you feel called to take, I would pay attention to that. We also have surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break, spend time in nature, replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. We also have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight and awareness. And finally, we have my productivity stems from inspiration. When I focus on what brings me joy, my tasks become effortless actions, and I communicate with ease and grace. So grace is a big theme here. Shout out to Graces out there, but also the theme of grace is important to you guys. I communicate with ease and grace. People are willing to embrace what I have to say. So yeah, I think it's important. If you feel like you have things you need to say or things you need to get off your chest, don't feel like you have to hold back. But really just fully recognize that nobody is going to complete you, and that, you know, this journey of healing is so much more about yourself than it is about another person. And that's why it's really important not to take what another person does super personally, because it's really not personal. Like, this person really is trying to grow and be their best, because in an ideal world, they want to show up as their best self for you. So pile 3, I am going to leave this reading here and take it over to the extended. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me, but if you'd like to support me in other ways, obviously you can check out the extended. You can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video and be part of my notification squad. I typically respond to people that are on the notification squad. I also have social media, which is linked below, though do be aware of tons of scammers pretending to be me. So just know that I do not offer personal readings, and I will not offer you one in your DMs. And I have merch, but that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 4. If you guys chose the pink Aragonite Cloud and the Pastel Journey Tarot. This is going to be your reading on your person's thoughts and feelings about you. But to start, we're going to do a quick energy check to see if this is your pile or not, and if you resonate with this energy. So to start with the connecting energy between the two of you, we have authority. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And we have Sky Library, learn from your past lessons, guidance, wisdom, and forgiveness. Okay, so we're also going to be doing a person A, person B style format. So just pick the side that you resonate with, or if you resonate with both, that's absolutely okay. It can be indicative of mirroring. But if you don't resonate with this at all, then this is likely not your pile. So to start with person A, we have the hyena, we have the sun, and we have a line, the trigger statement being I feel conflicted, and the true statement being I am true to my highest self. Your focus needs to turn within to reflect on stories that are not true for you. Love is the way through. Okay. And then with person B, we have vulture, we have protector, and we have integrity. The trigger statement is, it is their fault, and the true statement is that my thoughts are the cause of my suffering. As emotions rise, go within to see what stories and memories are fueling them. Then release what is not serving you with gratitude. This is interesting. Oh, damn it, I did it again. Okay, I swear to God, I was thinking of adjectives that were not interesting, and that's just what came out anyway. So like, I'm playing myself, honestly. And there could be an energy here of, that's so interesting that the reading started that way, because I can definitely see that this may not, for some of you, this may not be a romantic connection. And so if you were asking about a connection that's not romantic, this might be your pile, but this also could be a romantic connection. But what I definitely see happening here is that there has been some sort of tension, maybe some sort of argument, or some sort of disagreement when it comes to this connection. Or you could be running into following similar patterns in this connection, that even though you want to do better, you want to do different, you want to change, the same way I would like to use an adjective other than interesting, you can't help but just on instinct and on impulse act in similar ways, which may be something that you both are trying to work and grow through right now. What I see here is two folks, my hyena and my vulture, that are used to things in a certain way, and this connection challenges that way of being. For a select few of you, I could almost feel like this is a situation where it is like a parent-child, or a mentor-mentee, or even a friendship where one is older and the other is younger. Where there could be some disagreements here, or some frustrations around maybe the vulture's role in protecting the hyena or calling the hyena out on certain things, and maybe the hyena not really speaking their truth to how they feel, but rather making jokes of it, making light of it, and never really giving the vulture a clear idea that they're appreciated or that they're important. And so you don't have to actually be in that select group. This could also, what I just described could happen in literally any dynamic. But I had felt called to mention that it does kind of seem like the hyena is a younger energy and the vulture is a more mature energy. So this could be a relationship with an age gap, or one of you could just have a very more, like, even if you're close to the same age, one person could just, you know, be more pragmatic and practical and kind of want to be like a leader and a guide. Because what I feel like is happening here is these two have been butting heads in some sort of way. And I'm really called to notice that we pulled two cards that are predominantly black and white. And I feel like for the hyena, it's hard for both parties to see things through the other's eyes. And so I think both parties here are kind of trying to assert what they feel is right here, or what they know to be their truth. And it's kind of a challenge for each party to see what's underneath what the other is projecting, if that makes sense. With the vulture here, though, I do think the vulture is better at picking up on the hyena's deeper feelings and things like that. But I feel like the hyena maybe has like, I feel like the hyena is slightly allergic to authority. And I think the vulture person may try to assert their authority, and they don't really like that. I think that this hyena is very happy with no rules, very happy with making impulsive decisions at times, or maybe honestly just doesn't really like to admit that they have needs or desires, and just pretend like life is just one little adventure that they're not taking too seriously. Whereas the vulture, I feel like, is a much more, ironically, even though it represents air, a much more grounding presence, where they kind of want to help guide and lead the hyena, or they do things out of love and care for the hyena that the hyena maybe misinterprets as like the vulture trying to control things, or the vulture criticizing them. I feel like there's definitely this energy where both parties feel like they're not really being seen or heard, and neither party is really is really communicating the underlying reasons as to why they act in certain ways. So for the hyena, I don't think the hyena really wants to admit how happy the vulture and their connection with the vulture makes them. I think that they really do enjoy being in the vulture's presence and the influence that they have on the hyena. But I think that the hyena has a lot of resistance and almost anger towards change, or towards authority, or towards doing things that they themselves don't want to do. Like, you could tell the hyena, like, hey, go do the dishes, and the hyena will be like, well, I was gonna do the dishes, but now I'm not doing them because you asked me to. Like, that, they kind of have that vibe. And I think that they do have this defensive wall up because they have been hurt. For some, I get the vibe like this person, maybe they like for a select few, this could be like a step-parent, stepchild relationship, where maybe like one of this person's biological parents is maybe more difficult with them, or really impacted them. I do feel like the hyena has dealt with some sort of trauma, no matter what the case may be, no matter what the semantics are, where they don't feel safe expressing their emotions. They don't feel like safe expressing their truth unless it's funny or sarcastic, or gives an air of I don't really care attached to it. And so it's really hard for this hyena person to admit when things matter to them, admit when they really do care about something. Like, an extreme version of this would be like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like, maybe not intellectual super genius or whatever that is, but like, you know, he just goes to extreme lengths to for a bit, or to like pretend like he doesn't care. But then in those real moments, he will, when he's pushed towards it. But like, it's not something that he's going to outwardly express. You know what I mean? And so I think that this hyena has a lot of pride when it comes to expressing emotions. When it comes to expressing how people matter, I think that the hyena is really guilty of like wanting to push people away and wanting to keep them at a distance, because they don't want their heart to be seen. And the hyena has a lot of love for the vulture, and I don't think that they necessarily want the vulture to feel that. I feel like it feels scary and it feels vulnerable to have their heart be seen by the vulture, and to have their heart be seen in general. I feel like they're the type of person that would have gotten off on the idea of like, oh, no one's ever good enough for me, or like, nah, I don't really get romantic feelings, or things like that. I feel like this person sometimes thinks they're above things, that they really... They may project this air like they're above things like love and relationships, when in reality, that's just their way of masking that they don't feel worthy of one, so to speak. Things like that. Whereas the vulture has feels really misunderstood in this connection. And I feel like the vulture may also be a little bit confused as well, because maybe in the past, the things that the vulture's done towards people, it's always been either received well or received neutrally. And maybe this vulture feels like they don't have any use for the hyena if they can't provide in the way that they're used to providing. So with the protector card here and the vulture card being here, the vulture card in its book literally describes it being like a guardian. So I definitely feel like the vulture person feels a sense of responsibility over the hyena. I think they feel very protective over the hyena. And overall, I think they see the hyena and they want the hyena to, they see the hyena's potential. They see what the hyena could be if they just kind of buckled down and had maybe more discipline. And so I feel like the vulture person has really tried to do that, and maybe the hyena person has taken it as trying to control them or criticizing them, but the vulture person really just wants to show them that there's more and that they could improve. And I think the way that this vulture person shows love is through maybe acts of service, or through practical help. It kind of has Virgo-y energy, or maybe Capricorn energy to it as well. But what I see here is that the vulture is having a hard time accepting the hyena's nature, and that they can't push the hyena to go deeper than they're comfortable with, and they still kind of have to learn understand things from the hyena's perspective. I feel like the vulture doesn't necessarily respect the hyena's perspective. Either they don't respect it or they can't fully see it and understand it. And maybe that's why for some vulture people, they don't respect it. I had to figure out how to word that. But they want to understand. It's just that they don't, because they view their situation or their perspective as the most logical. And why wouldn't everyone think things this way? I think we're all kind of guilty of doing that to a degree. Everything makes so much sense from our perspective, right? And so I think for both people here, they're really feeling like, my perspective makes sense, and why can't you understand mine? And I think rather than each party kind of discussing what they're experiencing, instead I think they're pointing out what the other is doing wrong, or what the other is not doing correctly, or how the other could improve, or things that both view as innocent. Like maybe the hyena is guilty of jabbing at the vulture a little bit with like sarcastic remarks or things like that, and maybe that really hurts the vulture, but they don't really admit that. And the vulture tells the hyena, hey, you need to fix this, you need to do that, and that will help. And the hyena feels like, you don't really see me, and like you don't know what I need, and things like that. It's two egos learning how to get along and open up in a heartfelt way. Because I feel like what the hyena is saying when they're being really sarcastic towards the vulture is, I don't feel as good as you. I don't feel I measure up to you. I'm kind of insecure. And also, you're really great. And I don't really want to admit that I would be very afraid of losing you. I don't want you to know how happy you actually make me. Whereas the vulture is, why can't you just listen to my advice? I think that my advice makes sense. I don't understand why you're not receptive to me. I feel very protective over you. I care about you, and I want you to do better. And I know you can do better, but I don't know how to say that in a constructive way, or I don't know how to communicate that I think that there are deeper truths you're not acknowledging by just telling you how to fix your own problems, since you won't talk about them to me. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from both sides. And here's the thing. This is a very necessary cycle for you both to go through, because it's leading you to have more understanding for one another and have more forgiveness as well. I think it's really interesting that we have this like juxtaposition of this black and white, but then when we look at the connecting energies, we have a lot of like teal and purple and green. It's a lot of, awakening and opening up to these higher levels of consciousness when it comes to engaging and embracing this connection than you've had before. What I see you both going through is this realization that you both have things to work on, and that neither of you have everything totally figured out, and that there's going to, in order to, you know, make this work, whatever type of relationship it may be, there needs to be compromise. There needs to be a willingness to grow. There needs to be a willingness to forgive and a willingness to have grace. So if you're not agreeing with this person right now, what I will say is that I do think that the situation will be resolving. But this is actually genuinely really interesting. I see why I said interesting in the beginning. It just genuinely is really interesting. So let's go ahead and see what this person is thinking and feeling about you. If I can get all the cards. Okay, so you guys chose the Pastel Journey Tarot, and you can actually get this deck or anything from Vanessa Samina's shop for 10% off if you use my code ASO10. That is linked below. But anyway, I did also want to mention while I am shuffling that if you are hungry for seconds, I had to stop because I thought of hungry for apples. If you watch Rick and Morty, you'll get it. Like a true intellectual, right? I'm just so smart because I watch Rick and Morty. It's only actually my IQ raised by like 50 points when I started watching it. So just saying. Okay, jokes aside, the extended, we will be looking at where the connection is headed. We will be looking at what action your person may be taking. I really hope you can hear my stomach. We will also be looking at what action you should take, what is helping the connection grow, what is holding the connection back. We're also going to get more channel messages. We're going to look at signs and guidance and finish off with advice. So if you are craving more after this reading, you can check that out. But we are going to see how your person is thinking and feeling about you. So top row is going to be thoughts, bottom row is going to be feelings. Spirit, how is pile 4's person currently thinking about them? All right, we have the 3 of Cups in reverse. We have the 10 of Cups upright. We have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. I also put these down just a little bit. We have Justice upright. We have the 9 of Wands upright. And back of the deck for thoughts, we have Hermit. Okay, let's look at feelings now. How are they? Okay. They are feeling some type of way, that is for sure. We have the 8 of Cups in reverse. We have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. We have Strength upright. There's that pride. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. In the back of the deck, we have the Lovers. And we have 69. Oh, wait. The 9's upside down, so I guess we actually have 66. But we have 69. Okay. Let's get into this. So, this is actually really sweet. This is so sweet. Oh, my God. Okay. So this person's definitely not happy with where your connection is right now. In fact, they're really unhappy. And if your connection is at a good spot, I feel like this is a situation where they're definitely frustrated with the situation because they don't want to be in a negative place with you. With the 3 of Cups in reverse, they're not happy when things aren't good, which I think is pretty apparent and straightforward. But I definitely think they're unhappy with just where things are at, and I think that they're unhappy that things don't flow very easily with you both sometimes. I think with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, I think that they're having a really hard time seeing things from your perspective, but they're wanting to and they're trying. And I think it is precisely because they know how happy and harmonious your connection can be, that they really are not happy with the situation and they want it to balance out. They want to do right by you. They don't want to be unfair to you or make you feel like this isn't an equal exchange or that they don't care. I feel like they also care, like if you're in a relationship with them, they really care about that. They care about their commitment to you, and they know that because of their commitment to you that it's going to get harder before it gets easier. But I think that this person is really wanting to work with you. With the Hermit in reverse, I feel like they're wanting to really talk to you about things that they've been struggling to talk to you about. I feel like they've definitely been overthinking about this situation, and they could be the type of person to just overthink in general, and it might make them spiral and feel more fear. They might be self-medicating in some sort of way. I almost noticed with like the head wrap here, it's like this person, like, they might be dealing with some sort of physical difficulty, but I think more than anything, they're just dealing with their head. And like, I feel like their head just hurts from how much they overthink about this situation. But I also think at the same time, they're having to kind of face parts of themselves that they never noticed before that were potentially problematic or potentially like unhelpful for a connection that wants to be happy and thrive, or two people that are in a connection that want to be happy and thrive. And so I feel like going into their feelings with the Eight of Cups in reverse, like they definitely don't want to walk away from this situation. It is very fulfilling for them. But with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, they're trying to figure out how they're going to let go of certain parts of themselves, or let go of certain behavior patterns that they have, but they're more than willing to do it. It's more so the fear that I think they're working through. But I think with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, they recognize that this connection is worth holding on to. And so they know that there's some sort, like there's going to be things that they're going to have to let go of in order to do that. And I think they're hoping that you're going to do the same. With the Strength card being here, like there is a lot of pride here. And I feel like for you and this person, you know, I don't know if they really feel like they're ready to admit if they think they're wrong. I think this person thinks that they're right, if I'm being honest, and feels that they're right deep down. But they're willing to pretend like they don't think that, or they're willing to let go and agree to disagree, or whatever that may be, in order to keep both their pride intact. But also, I feel like they can't apologize unless they understand the situation from the other person's side. And I think that if they can't understand things from your perspective, they may not be able to like fully justify apologizing. But I do think that they are willing to do what it takes to get this connection to a better place. With the Queen of Cups being here, I feel like this person has so much love for you, and I think that this person knows that you have a lot of love for them, even if you both may not always say it, or you may not always show it. And I think that this person's feelings are far too strong for you for them to throw this away or do wrong by you. They care about you, they respect you, and they want you to know that they have integrity. I feel like with this Strength as well, they also see you as a formidable opponent, in the sense that they fully recognize just how powerful your energy is, and how powerful your desires are, and how much you've shown them. I think you've humbled them in a lot of ways. But I think that the strength of the connection that they feel with you, and also the power and the passion that comes along with it, it's like they really have no choice but to just kind of surrender what's not working anymore in order to maintain and uphold this connection. I feel like with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, if you haven't talked to them in a while, they miss you more than they're willing to admit. I definitely think that they, like, I will say that I've had Baby One More Time stuck in my head for like the past 3 days. But it's like, it's getting really bad in your pile. So I don't know, maybe that song is meant for you guys, or it's a significant song. I mean, it is a banger. I definitely feel like you both still believe. So with the Lovers card being here, I definitely feel like this person chooses you, chooses this connection. That is what they're feeling like. They want to choose this connection. They want to choose you. They would rather be with you than be alone and do things their way. And I think that what they're kind of just going through right now is this whole internal process of, how do I compromise without feeling like I'm losing, but also how do I work with pile 4 in order to make this something more solid and stable and something that we both can work through together. I think that this is a very, what's the best word? This is someone who's learning that they're going to have to make sacrifices, or that they're going to have to be more flexible if they want to have a happy, harmonious connection with someone. And I think that you're probably learning the same. And so I think it's just kind of a matter of time before this situation comes around. But let's go ahead and get some channeled messages here and see what this person would say to you if they could be completely honest. So Spirit, what would pile 4's person say to pile 4 if they could be completely honest? We have I love you. Aw. We've met in a past life. I have a surprise for you. Maybe you'll get an I'm sorry gift. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe they won't say they're sorry, but they'll give you something nice. I just need a sign. Oh my God, in that song, give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Like, y'all better jam to that song. Like, if it makes you feel something, you're listening to it right. My loneliness. Okay, we're at the right place at the right time. I am still recovering. I'm waiting for you to make the first move, and I just want to be boring with you. Yeah, I feel like this person, I feel like you and this person maybe are just kind of working through certain barriers that are going to help you both grow closer. But I think right now you both are kind of like being stubborn and waiting for the other to kind of be the one to break. But I think it's just a matter of time. I don't need to tell you how to do your situation. I think that the advice cards will do that for me. And also, I think that you are strong enough to figure that out for yourself. So the way I designed this, you have a specific archangel coming through, and like this is who all your advice is from. So you guys have Megatron, which is the best. So you guys have Archangel Megatron and Empowered Self-Embodiment. And I definitely think that there is empowerment on both ends here. Let me see what the bookie says. If it's around here. No, never mind. I do not see it, unfortunately. It's not here. Okay. Oh well. Empowered self-embodiment, what does that mean to you? It should be being yourself and feeling the power to do that. It's pretty simple. Empowered self-embodiment. Love it. ESE. So we have present. You live in the present moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. We also have surrender to complete healing. Oh my God, this is such a vibe. I hope these two cards don't ruin the vibe, because it's like really, it looks really good right now. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, what a great vibe killer though, right? Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Yeah, you really are coming to a beautiful place, and I think this person is too. And yeah, I think everything is going to work out and resolve itself. Compassion. I am willing to... I can't talk. Compassion is my compass. I am willing to hold space for the experience for others. So that's the thing. Okay, so when you guys can't understand each other, or when you can't see from one another's perspective, that's where compassion comes in. Because empathy is the ability to be able to walk into someone else's shoes and feel for them and understand what they're going through. But compassion is, I don't understand what you're going through, but I still hold compassion for your experience. You can't necessarily make people empathize with you, but compassion goes a long fucking way. And being able to say, like, you know, I don't necessarily know what you're going through, but I feel for you and I want to support you. That is way more powerful than even people being like, oh, I understand what you're going through. You know what I mean? We also have, I am committed to bringing forth my greatness. I will no longer play small. And I fucking agree with that. Both of you need to, especially the hyena. If you're the hyena and you've been feeling called out, like, sorry, babe, but you need to be more fantastic. you have greatness and you should stop playing small. So I think that is where I'm going to leave this reading, pile 4. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background. That helps me so much, like more than you guys realize. But if you want to help me in other ways, you can check out the extended, which will be linked below, which is what I'm headed over to. You can like this video, you can comment down below, you can subscribe if you haven't already, and you can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. And I have merch linked below, and I have social media, though I have scammers that pretend to be me, so beware. There's always scammers pretending to be me, and it's not me. I don't offer personal readings. But that's all I have, so thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!